Good morning, I'm Weston from Tussey Landscaping, and today we're going to show you how to take grass and turn it into landscaping. First thing we want to do is to mark out our landscape. It's what I usually do with this orange can of paint. Next we'll edge that with our bed edger. We'll spray the grass with a herbicide to kill it before we till anything. Then we mix in a planting mix, which is basically just leaf compost, topsoil, and till it in, work it in the soil. If you don't have access to a tiller or no way to till it into your new landscape bed, simply dig an extra large hole around your plant and put that fresh planting mix, nice dirt around the root ball of that plant. And then we apply mulch after all the plants are in and apply a pre-emergent weed killer, and you turn grass into some nice landscaping. Let's go. Alright, so this is a grass area that we're going to turn into landscaping. I'm going to start by painting out my lines. So we're going to come in with the bed edger and start edging it out. Alright, we've got everything edged. All the grass inside here is sprayed with an herbicide to kill it. One of the things that's common when you're doing new landscape beds is that the grass level is equal with the concrete here, which by the time we put fresh planting mix topsoil in here, mulch it, that would make it too high and it would constantly be spilling out over the concrete edge. So to remedy that, we just go along here and just chop out a portion of that dirt, essentially edging it the same way we do on the outside perimeter. And now you can see we got a nice 2 to 3 inches here where the mulch can come in against the concrete, and it's the same level as the concrete, which will keep it from spilling out across the sidewalk, which will be much easier to maintain. You won't be constantly trying to push that mulch back. In my last video I was telling you we don't like landscape fabric. This is why. This stuff is not fun. It's a pain to put down too, and not just a pain to deal with afterward. And on top of all that, it doesn't even work. So follow our advice. We do this every day. What else can I tell you? So we got all the beds tilled, everything is tilled and raked out. This is the point where we're going to start laying out our plants, placing them where we want them, get them all placed out before we start digging anything. And once they're all the way we want them, we'll plant them, make sure we get a lot of that good fertile planting mix soil around that root ball, and prep everything for mulch after that. So we're going to get started on the planting now. This area of the landscape is an area where we couldn't really get our tiller into. This was not a landscape bed before. This was just raw grass, weeds, rock, dirt, whatever. So I just wanted to demonstrate to you what we do in areas where we cannot get the tiller. Over there, we did get the tiller into that area and got that all tilled up real nice. Here, we're just going to demonstrate how we plant plants in a brand new landscape bed where we weren't able to till it up. So basically we just edged it, we sprayed it with a weed killer, and now we're going to just dig the hole for the plant root ball a bit larger, and that'll allow us to get a lot of that nice planting mix, that nice fertile soil around that root ball instead of the dirt that was there, which was really poor quality in this instance. But anyway, we'll start getting these plants in the ground and we'll show you how to do that. You can tell we were not able to till that. It's super hard. Okay, so we got this hole dug, and you can see we got a lot of area around the root ball of the plant. Plenty of room to put that good soil. So we'll just pull that pot out, rough up these roots like that. And then instead of putting that rocky soil back in, I'll use this planting mix that we dumped in here and just backfill with this planting mix, which will give that plant a nice isolate, like surrounded by that good soil. So even though we were not able to till this, everything around this plant is nice, fertile, loose soil, which is what we wanted. If you're able to till it, it just makes it easier because you don't have to dig holes quite as big. It's just tilled up, ready to go. So 2 ways. Till it up, you have nice loose soil, you get your plants into a new landscape bed, or just dig extra large holes like that and put in the nice planting soil, compost, whatever you have to encompass that root ball. Okay, so we have all the edging completed. All of the junk clumps of dirt is raked out of the flower beds. That's generally what we do after we're finished planting. The next thing we do is apply this pre-emergent weed killer. Just be careful, it is a chemical, so wear gloves when handling it. Just don't eat the stuff, you know. But anyway, we just spread this across all the landscape beds. This prevents any weed seeds from germinating, and this new landscape beds are especially vulnerable to this. So it's essential that you get that done. Another thing you want to be careful with this pre-emergent weed killer is if you have a water feature, a pond with fish and plants in it or anything like that, just be super careful you don't get any in that. This is a garden type spreader for various whatever, grass seeds, fertilizer, pre-emergents. What you can get in the hardware stores like from Lowe's or Home Depot or something is like these containers of preen. They have a little shaker on them. Those work well if you don't have one of these. So those are all the things to be aware of when you're using this kind of thing. We're going to spread this across all the landscape. We're going to come in with mulch, get everything mulched. If you have any questions about anything we talked about in this video about creating a new landscape bed out of nothing or out of grass, just let us know. Comment down below. We'll get back to you. Don't forget to like and subscribe. One more thing that's a good idea to do just as a precaution is after we were finished planting everything, we just took that bed edger around and just redefined all the edges so we have nice crisp clean edges to mulch around. We'll take this Roundup sprayer and just go around and just hit any grass, anything that was existing there. We're gonna hit that again just because stuff is crazy persistent and we want to make sure that it's dead and not gonna grow up through our mulch. So now that we have the edges redefined and re-edged, we're gonna go along and just spray this grass. Even though we sprayed it before we started, we're just gonna do it again because some days it seems like you can't kill stuff, you know what I mean? Just be super careful that you don't get it onto any of the plants. You can just put it in the ground. If it's windy, just be really careful. If it's too breezy, I wouldn't recommend doing this because if you get a mist of this stuff onto the new plants you just put in the ground, it will kill them. I'm doing this as an insurance that we don't have weeds or grass growing up through our fresh mulch in a few weeks. Okay, so we have finished mulching everything. We're just cleaning everything up and backing out of here. All the landscape is in, everything is mulched, and we're down to the last steps. One of those is we spray all of our plants with a micronutrient. For lack of better terms, it's like a fertilizer. It makes the nutrients more available to the plants, and it's just a great product to boost the plants after planting, to help them get established into their environment. So basically it's just something you mix up in a sprayer like this and just spray directly on the foliage. I'll link to the product down below in the description and you can buy it online on this website. So basically I just, like I said, spray directly on the foliage. And that'll help those plants get established in their zone.